Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to design an app in Figma, okay? And this is the app screen that we'll be designing, okay? This app, if you're familiar with the brand Freetrade, okay? This is what we're going to be doing. I designed this page because I am a customer of Freetrade. Freetrade are an investment app. Okay, so that's why I basically just redesigned one of their pages on the app, and this is what I came up with. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So before I actually started, designing this app, the first thing I did was, let me show you the screens here. The first thing I did was I sketched the app on paper. As you can see, this is it because I've already done it. So I sketched the app on paper. Then from paper, I moved into the wireframes on Figma. As you can see, this is like a low fidelity wireframes. I used a 12 grid system. So I'm going to take you through that process now, and you're going to follow along with me in excuse me, you're going to follow along with me in designing the app. So first of all, what we need to do first is we need to get the screen. The app screen that I used here, I'm going to just, if you look here in the frames here, because I'm clicking on this app on this screen, it shows you the frame that I used. This is the iPhone 14, iPhone 15. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to press F. Then I'm going to go to my iPhone 15 and I'll click on it. As you can see, I basically duplicated the app screen that I want to use. So it's now matching this app screen as well. So now from here, from this blank frame here, what I'm going to do is, first of all, let me just give it a label. Let me just try app screen. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to, first of all, like I said, initially we're going to create the layout grid. So now we're going to use a grid system for this app screen. Okay, that's the first part. We want to use a grid system. So I'm going to use the columns, as you can see, guys. Okay, you go from grid to columns, and then from there, I'm going to type in 12. And then in this gutter here, I'm going to leave it at, let me change it to 20. Okay. And then here, the color is red. That's good. Opacity is 10. That's all set. So now I'm going to exit. And from here, we're going to begin just, moving the wireframes over into this empty app screen. So I've already created the wireframes, like I said, guys. So I'm just going to copy the wireframe. It's just rectangles, you know, that helps me with alignment and consistency. Okay, because I've already created it. So I'll just copy it from here and just paste it on this empty app screen here. As you guys can see, let me get it right in place. There we go. But one thing I want to, let me zoom in. One thing I want to show you guys is, you can see the purpose of using the wireframes and the grid system and the 12 grid system is to show you that everything is aligned with using the grid system. Okay, everything is aligned to the grid system because it's easier to maintain the consistency of the typography and the graphics and everything. Okay, as you can see, everything is aligned, and it's, alignment is one of the key principles of design. So that's why using a grid system is very, very helpful. Okay, so as you can see, everything is in place now. If you're following along, all you have to do is just draw the rectangles in place. But make sure, what I did was, let me draw the initial rectangles here. You will see, if I zoom out, let me zoom out. If I press if I press down if I press down on the Alt key, it's going to show you the length between it's actually quite measured, okay? Between the spaces between the top and the first element is 80 pixel somewhat, okay? And the spaces in here is 20 pixel. The spaces in here is 40 pixels, and the spaces in here is 20 pixels. The spaces in here is 40 pixels. This is 20 pixels, 20 pixels, 20 pixels. So I use that as a form of alignment to just uh, get everything consistent with each other. And I'm using, if you notice, I'm using multiples of 4. Okay, this is 80 pixel, 20 pixel, 40 pixel. Okay, just to achieve a cohesive spacing between the elements, between the typography and the graphics and stuff like that. So now let's get into the design aspect of it. Okay, obviously this is just some text, so I'll just copy this. Hold on, I messed that up. I'll just copy this text here. I'll pop it over there. Okay, don't worry about making it all look good for now. Let's just put everything together. And for the typography, what I did with the typography is I designed a simple. Let me go down here, because like I said, I've done this before. I designed a simple style guide for this Freetrade app. Okay, what I did was let me zoom in here so you can see. I gave different text sizes for the heading one and the titles, and heading two and heading three, heading four, body copy and menu copy, and so on and so forth. I also created the colors, okay, the color scheme as well. And obviously I used this color scheme, this pink color, because that's the actual brand color for Freetrade. Okay, so that's how I was able to use this, because I'm using the H2 here. This is actually the H2 that I'm using here, and that's because I created a simple style guide to follow, so that I can use it to maintain the consistency, because that's the purpose of the style guide. Okay, so and yeah, if you want to copy the style guide as well, guys, you can see the colors, this color scheme, and the colors as well, the color code, the X codes for the colors and everything. And I'm actually using the font here. I'm using the what font am I using? Let me see. The Inter font. Okay, as you can see, this H1 is bold and it's 64 pixels, whereas the H2 is bold and it's 48 pixel. But there's also the regular version as well. The H3 is 32 pixel. Okay, the H4 is 24 pixels. And if you've noticed one thing, guys, I'm using multiples of 4. Okay, that is one of the design principles. If you want to achieve consistency, if you want to achieve unity, okay, in your overall design and everything, I've learned to use multiples of 4. Okay, even the menu copy here is 12. Okay, so from the typography to the grid system and everything, I'm using multiples of 4. Okay, even to the spacing elements together on the screen, like I showed you guys earlier, I'm still using multiples of 4. Okay, so that's how I normally use in my designs to maintain a consistency and to maintain a visual hierarchy. Okay, so now what we want to do is, this is simple. This is a simple rectangle, guys. It's a simple rectangle. Okay, so let me actually draw that rectangle out, so that's, oh sorry, let me draw that rectangle out so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go to my space, to my shapes here, click on the rectangle, click down on shift, right, click down on shift. Okay, that's all we need. Then try to match the shape of it, bring it back. That was too long, so let me match the shapes here to make sure we're using the same shapes. Okay, that fits well. There we go. I want to match the grid layout. Okay. I could have easily just used this, to be honest, but I don't want to just yet. Okay. So and once I know that that fits, now let me, if I double click on this rectangle, you know what? I could easily just use this drag it, as you guys can see, this ball thing here in the four corners, that I can give it a radius. Okay, and if you don't want to use that, you can click on the shape and just come up here. And but let me actually just see how much radius I gave this. Okay, 12 pixel. So you can just click on the shape, come up here, click on 12 pixels, and that will equal the radius on all four corners. So now I'm going to just put it in place. But like I said, guys, let's keep moving. Don't worry about getting it to look exactly like this. Just put everything in place for now. Okay. Now let's move on to the next section. This is just the text. We take this, click on Alt, click down on Alt. I'm just going to drag this one in place as well. Okay. This is just the text, and then the circles. For the circle, I can just click on O and click down on Shift as well to draw the circle and get the circle in place as well. As you can see, that fits perfectly. So now let's move on to the next one. For the next one, it's the text as well. I'm just gonna copy the text element. Click on Shift to copy everything. Then I'm gonna drag them in place as well. I'm not worried about everything looking good for now. I just want to get the main thing in place. And this is just a circle, just as as we created a circle there. You can use the O, and then drag the shift to create a circle just like we did there. So I'm just gonna copy this, put it in place here as well. Copy this as well. It's just a circle and a few text. Put that in place as well. And then the most important thing left is this icon. This icon sets with the menu copy. Okay, this icon sets, if I go to a different page here, I've already designed the icons. Okay, let me zoom out a bit so you can see. I've already designed each individual icons. As you can see, these are the actual free trade icon on the app, on the Freetrade app. I redesigned it, to look similar to the Freetrade app. As you can see, I redesigned everything. Okay, so and to design the icon, I used a 24 pixel grid layout. Okay, that's what I used for the icon. As you can see, each icon can be moved around. So that's what I did there, just so you know. And yeah, if you want to know how to design icons, if you want a process for how to design icon, leave a comment below this video. Let me know, and I will take you through the process so you can design your own icons. And so yeah, the next thing is I'm gonna copy this as well. Just to copy this whole thing instead of just doing it right now. So I'm just gonna place that in place as well. Bring that forward, right click and paste in front. Okay, so now that I've got everything in place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my wireframe and just delete the wireframes. Okay, now that everything is somewhat in place, right, as you can see, I'm going to delete the wireframes. I don't need that anymore. Then let me before I do that, let me copy this things over. I'm going to click on Shift. Let me just copy them over there. There we go. I'm going to need that. place that front as well. And then for this, what let me show you a trick. Let me first of all change the color for this. Let me just change the color to black because it's gonna be black as it is on here as well. So what we want to do from here is I'm gonna click Shift X. You see what I did with Shift X is I turned a fill. Let me undo that. Let me undo that. Okay, let me undo that. Okay, I clicked on the rectangle, then I clicked Shift X to turn a fill into a stroke. Okay. Now let me click on this to see how much stroke. Two pixels. 2 pixels. Okay, so I'm gonna click on here and give it 2 pixel stroke as you can see. So now everything is just starting, just by adding that stroke, you can see that it's starting to come alive. Let me place this in place properly. Let me place this in place. And with this as well, let me just this will be here as you can see. So everything is looking nice. And what I can actually do is I'm going to turn off the grid. No, let me not turn off the grid just yet. Let me place this in place as well. There we go. And with this circle, let me change the color of this circle. What I'm going to do with this circle is I'm going to click, right click on it, copy, then right click again, paste it back in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Alt and Shift because I want to reduce the size of the outer circle, because I want to create this big stroke here. Okay, then I'm going to click on the outer circle as well and just go up here and click subtract. Okay, did you see what I did there? I subtracted the smaller circle into the larger circle to create this big stroke. Then I'm going to drag this here. It's just a text. I'm going to put it right here. Put it right. There we go. And it's looking how we want it to look, as you can see. So these guys are in place. This is in place as well. As you guys can see, everything is looking aligned together and everything just as we want them to be. Let's put that in place as well to align with the grid. And now let's bring these lines. To draw these lines on the final design, as you can see, all you really need to do is just go into the shape tool, drag the line, and just drag the line from your holding shift. Make sure you hold shift as you're dragging the line, so it gives you a straight line. Okay, because if you let go of shift, it's going to just mess up the whole thing. So just hold on shift like this, and that's the line. But I want to zoom in here to see what the line color really is. So I'm going to click on I and click on that, then zoom back out. And I think we've got the line color just perfect. And let me see the stroke. I think I gave the stroke the initial line. What was the stroke? I think it's 0.5. There we go. Let me zoom back out. The way I'm zooming back out is I'm clicking on Z and Alt on my Windows keyboard. Okay, Z and Alt. And then I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to give it a 0.5 stroke. It's a very, very tiny, faint stroke. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to copy that stroke again. Click on I'm going to click on Alt to copy that stroke like so. And now we have two strokes just like we wanted. And then from there, we need to carry this shape over. Hold on. I'm going to click on Alt because this shape, this rectangle, this final rectangle goes. Let me right click on it, bring to front. Bring to front. Let me click on Shift O just to bring the shapes over. It's not working. Okay, let me do that in the frames. I'm gonna just do it in the right. No, that's not what I wanted. Let me undo that. Don't know what I was doing there. Actually, let me delete this whole thing. Then go back to the frame. Go back to the frame and copy this whole thing. Yeah, let me copy this whole thing over. There we go. I'm gonna copy this whole thing over. There we go. Okay, that's in place. Yeah, that took a while, but that's in place. And now you can see, guys, if I turn off, if I turn off the grid, if I turn off the grid, hold on, where's the grid? If I turn off the grid, you can see that it's coming along just like the original design. Okay, I don't want to take much of your time now, that's why I'm kind of rushing through it. But as you can see, guys, the app design is coming along just as I intended it. Okay, and what we need to do here is just, I think there's this is missing and this one. So if I zoom back in, if I just zoom back in, I'm gonna click on this, duplicate it by clicking Alt, right? Then I'm just going to extend it while holding Shift like that, and you guys can see it's now looking exactly like the original design. Can't even tell the difference besides the color. But let me just click on this circle here, click on the eye to grab the color from there. There we go. As you can see, easy peasy. And you can see, guys, the most important thing I want you to take from this is, in just a few steps, okay, we were able to quickly design an app, okay, using simple design elements like shapes. Okay, shapes are very important. Like this is just a rectangle. Okay, obviously it's got a radius to make it look nicer, but it's just a simple rectangle. This is a circle. Okay, this is just a simple circle. This is also a circle. That's a circle. And these icons are obviously very important when it comes to mobile design. But like I said, guys, if you want me to actually break down the process of designing icons, I can make a separate video about that. I know I don't have much time in this video. I don't want this video to be like 2-3 hours long or whatever. But yeah, as you can see, guys, I've just taken you from a blank canvas to a professional app design, okay, using simple steps. I showed you the mock-up design from the beginning, how I went into the process. The actual process of getting this up and running is from the initial sketch, as you can see, from paper into the wireframe. This is the wireframe, and then from wireframe, I designed the a simple style guide with the typography to determine what the menu copy will be. Look at this, guys. Look at this menu copy here. Believe it or not, this menu copy here. If I double click on it, okay, you can see the details of the menu copy is 12 pixels regular using the Inter font. Now, if you go to the finished design that we just did, go to the finished design. The menu copy there in the style guide that I created is the one used here in the actual menu section here, because it's small enough to be used on here with the icons, but it's too small to be used on the main screen. Okay, and if I click into the main screen here, the fonts used here is uh, the Inter font, same font but size 16, and that's the font for the body copy. Okay, the body copy is in the, if I go back to the style guide, you will see that the body copy is this one. Okay, 16. Okay, so that's the purpose of using a style guide. Okay, so guys, even if you're creating a simple um redesign project or just a test project, it's very important for you to create a style guide. Okay, this is what when it comes to design system includes things like this. Okay, so that you maintain, because the purpose of a design system is to maintain consistency of a project, whether you're designing an app or a website. That's why even if you're designing a practice project, it's important for you to design a simple style guide to guide you on what type of font you're going to use, and the level of hierarchy between the fonts. As you can see, there's a hierarchy between these fonts. Okay, that's why it's very important. And also the colors will give it's like a visual guide. If you look at all these colors, I used all these colors. I used uh, I used each of these colors, you know, in different forms, obviously, on the final product. As you can see, if you look at the final product, you can see that I used two colors here. Even the colors of the text is the black color. So the color used here, the green color used here, is actually one of the colors that they used to show that your stock is rising. Okay, so these things are very important to people, especially when it comes to businesses. So that's why I created the style guide to guide me. Okay, so it's very important to create a simple style guide like this as a way to keep your work consistent. Okay, and also one thing I also did was I designed the icons. I told you earlier, I designed the icons. Each individual icon was designed using the 24. If I go back to the page, each individual icons were designed using the 24 pixel grid, okay, to keep everything unified and consistent, okay, because consistency is key. If you actually zoom into this icon, you will see that each icon maintains a rounded corner, okay. Each icon maintains a rounded corner. If I go to this one as well, each icon maintains the rounded corner. So that's very, very important when it comes to icon design. You have to give them a visual style, and they all have to maintain the same visual style. Okay, so this one maintains the rounded corner as well. So that's the purpose of the app design. And if I zoom in into this two app designs, you can see that they also maintain the rounded corners as well. Okay, so that's the purpose of the app design. But like I said, if you want me to design, if you want me to show you the app design process, I would love to take you from design to finished app design like this. Okay, so then I just from there I just started designing everything in Figma, and I also managed to design the dark mode of the dark mode version of the app as well, as you can see. Because nowadays, every single app, even website, they have the different version. They have a light mode and they have a dark mode, okay? Because it's important to people now. People don't just want to have the option to view an app in a light mode. They want to have the option to view an app in a dark mode as well, because it's very helpful in terms of visibility and um, in terms of what do you call it, user, I forgot what it's called, but just in terms of making sure people have options, I guess. If you have maybe um eye problem or something like that, it's a way for people to have the option to choose which form of the app they want to use, whether dark. Maybe dark is probably better to use at night. So it's just something like that, and I obviously did a good job to make sure that it's still visible even though it's in dark mode. Okay, so yeah, it's just something to think about when you're designing your apps and your website, to also try to include a dark mode version as well for people who prefer this type of designs. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you've I hope I've taken you through this stage. You found it helpful. Okay, it's definitely not easy for me to talk through this work as I'm doing it, but yeah, I just wanted to show and teach other people, how to do something like this, because not too long ago I wasn't able to do this in Figma. Having been someone who's been with Adobe for a long time, I was using Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to do designs like this. So I recently just moved over to Figma, and I've started doing something like this. So yeah, if you want to know how to do it, I hope you found this video helpful. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, definitely let me know. Leave a comment below, and I would love to talk about it with you and see if I can help you with whatever you're going through. So thank you. Bye bye. See you later. Take care.